Chapter 1. Today was a long day. The class that was under the underground hero Aizawa's watch, as they trained and studied their best, just like it had been any other day. A girl with colored eyes sighed as she, Yin, watched the clock ticking, tapping her nail against her desk impatiently. She heard the bell and didn't even hesitate to grab her books and writing utensils, shoving them into her bag as she hurried along her way through the defending hallways, getting filled with all types of different students. She did her best and pushed through the crowd quickly, as today she would be going to a small cafe with her best friend. She couldn't help but walk with a bit of skip in her step, hardly hiding the excitement, and finally pushing her way out of the UA doors. She waited at the school entrance for her friend. Oh right, Todoroki, friends since 7th grade. At first the boy was cold with her. For being in the 7th grade, he was nothing like the other kids, but he honestly still wasn't. But ever so slightly, came over time, the hot and cold boy grew fond of the hard-headed, hair-colored girl. And a few minutes had passed, and he still wasn't there. She pulled her phone out of her coat pocket and sent him a text. "User, where are you? I'm waiting at the entrance." She decided to wait a couple more minutes for the boy to respond, but he never did. She was soft smile turned into a frown as her eyes gazed at her screen one more time. Red at 3:12. Did he seriously leave you on red? Did he forget about your plans? Ugh. She bit her lip as she looked back towards the building, deciding to go look for him. She ran slightly down the halls, looking for the two-toned-haired boy, knowing he would be pretty easy to find in a building she didn't see quite often. She didn't see him till she went into their shared classroom and looked out a nearby window, scanning the area until she saw it. He was with her. She had been a rival to Yin ever since Yin noticed all the attention and time Todoroki was giving her. Yin didn't want to be the jealous type, especially over someone she wasn't dating, but she couldn't help but her feelings for her childhood best friend. She couldn't blame her, after all. She was gorgeous, and her quirk was amazing. She was smart and tall. Heck, if Yin wasn't so infatuated with the boy she was talking with, she would actually be good friends with her. Momo Yayurozu. Yin watched as the two smiled at the words she was saying. She didn't understand why he ignored her message, but she decided to not let that get to her. Not wanting to hurt her own feelings anymore, she softly sniffled and quickly turned on her heel. Normally, she wouldn't mind this much, but he had left her on red. And what made it worse, even worse, was he was sitting with her at their spot. She walked out of school with a sharp feeling in her chest. She rubbed her chest as she let out a rough cough, the pain stinging her lungs and throat. "I hope I'm not getting sick," she mumbled quickly to herself as she continued her walk home, by sadly herself. Once Yin got home, she went to her room immediately, ignoring the questions about her day and how was school from her parents. She just wanted to be alone, but something could even relax her phone. Ding! She looked at her lock screen, seeing an all too familiar contact show up. Cold and hot. "Hey Yin, sorry, I was busy after school. Does tomorrow work for you?" Read at 3:58. With a glare at her phone, she reads the text messages over and over before setting her phone back down. She feels angry at him for having the audacity to lie. Cold and hot. Also, do you have Yairozu's number? Her heart dropped as she read the next message. Not even daring to open it up. They must have gotten along great, she thought harshly to herself. Another cough building up in her chest, escaping her throat. She ignored it as she finally was about to respond. Get it yourself. Heart. Read at 4:03. Her words were a bit harsh, yes, but she didn't really care. He had lied to her after all. Coughing once more, she went to the bathroom, looking in the medical cabinet for any type of cough relief. Searching for a few more seconds, she finally found some cough syrup, took a small dose before telling her parents goodnight, and crawled into bed, wanting to ignore the world outside. She scrolled on her phone for a bit before feeling the aftermaths of training hitting her body. She was exhausted, so she let herself get some much-needed rest. Today was one of those days Yin's quirk decided to act upon its own nightmare. Yin's quirk allowed her to manipulate people in their sleep, either sending them to sleep or otherwise. Her quirk brings out their deepest fears and worries, making it seem all too real, like brain hallucinations. As she tossed and turned in her bed, vivid images of Todoroki and Yairozu played in her mind like a broken record. One she couldn't stop. One where she was trapped. Uh-oh, Yin's in trouble. But I do want to say this is a really short Todoroki story because some people were asking me for Todoroki and I haven't had time to get into reading it. So I finally got to reading it and now here we are. I do have a second story prepared after this one, so do not worry at all. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I love you all so much. Mwah!